Hello, I am Tim Grant-Jones and I want to help you improve your piano playing. This is the third of 3 videos on piano exercises. In parts 1 and 2, I introduced you to the Hanon number 1 exercise and how to use it to help synchronise your piano technique, keyboard familiarisation, key awareness and aural perception. I recommend you watch those 2 videos first before watching this one. This video is concerned with improving your hand independence. First, I'll remind you of Hanon exercise number 1. Here it is in C major. And coming down. And so on. Now this time I'm going to start it in the left hand. Then halfway through the first pattern, i.e. 4 notes later, I'm going to start it in the right hand, like so. And coming down. And so on. Because of the nature of the pattern with notes going upwards and then coming down, that throughout the exercise when playing it like that, I'm always playing in contrary motion, which has another benefit when practicing. So the 2 thumbs always went together, the seconds went together and so on. We could do it starting in the right hand and the left hand follow. Coming down. So because one hand is following the other with exactly the same notes, the same music, I call that Hanon in canon. Now the main purpose here is really to develop your hand independence, where you are thinking of 2 things and implementing them both at the same time. So let's fast forward by another month or so and you've learned to play the canonic version of Hanon number 1 easily and without looking. Now in part 2 you learnt the benefits of playing the Hanon exercise number 1 in every major and minor key. So now you've guessed it, the canon version of Hanon number 1 can be played in every key too. I'm going to suggest we stick to the major keys for this. So here is Hanon number 1 in canon in D flat, starting in the right hand, following the left. And coming down. And so on. So here is a summary of what you can do with Hanon number 1 so far, covering parts 1, 2 and 3. Play it as written. Here it is, although you won't actually use the music because you're going to do it from memory and then without looking. And then you can play it in all the other major and minor keys from memory and then eventually without looking. Then you can play it in canon from memory and then without looking. And then you can play it in canon in all the other major keys from memory and then without looking. And it's the without looking that's the important part, because only that way your hand learns the spaces and the gaps and the joins. So that was Hanon number 1, and that's a good year's work there, which I've covered in about 5 or 10 minutes, and you haven't spent any money. Now the next 19 exercises in the Virtuoso Pianist are exercises that are fairly similar in that there is an 8-note pattern that repeats up the keyboard, but the notes are in a different order, and they're not necessarily in scale order either. So you will need the book to learn those. And they too can all be transposed into all the keys to gain the same benefits in pianistic understanding as with number 1. However, playing them in canon is probably not going to be a very realistic task in most cases. Believe you me, I have tried. But we can move on to exercise number 21 now. Let me just find it. And here it is. Here is exercise number 21. Now you don't need to memorize it now by looking at it, because I will show you. It is basically a 16-note expanded version of number 1. So here it is. And eventually you get back up to here, and here it is coming down. Okay, and as in part 2 we transposed the Hanon number 1 into the other keys, here it is in the key of A flat major. And here it is in the key of A flat, but in canon, from memory, without looking, I hope. And so on. I should have said that when you do the Hanon number 21 in canon, your other hand will start 8 notes later rather than 4 notes later. So for year 2, I would go through the same routines with number 21 for your warm-ups as you did in the first year with Hanon number 1. So the second and third videos on piano exercises are proof that you can use the Hanon exercise number 1 to improve many aspects of piano playing, your technique, intellectual knowledge and theoretical understanding of music, and your ear development, all at the same time. Always play from memory and always aim to play without looking. If I can do it, you can do it, and everybody can do it. Now it's only really ingrained when you can do something easily and automatically. So by not looking, you have proved that it's become easy and automatic. Now this is the end of my series on piano exercises. Do watch out for other videos on other skills needed for piano playing, and thank you for watching.